Hey, what's going on, gamers? Welcome to another episode of Gaming's Howl, the gaming talk show where we talk about anything and everything related to video games, whether that be news, reviews, movies, history, and more. I'm your host, Graywolf, and today we are joined once again by guest and old friend Caesar, also known as Caesar v. Thunder. Look, it's not my fault I butchered it the first time, okay?
It's so cringy. Keep
uh,
going.
but anyway, so it's been just about a solid month since we uploaded our last episode. Unfortunately, the last 2 weeks, both of us have been busy with a lot of stuff, so we're not able to make episode 4. But we're here now, so that's all that matters. And we've honestly got a hella bunch of information to cover this time around. So yeah, just getting started. GTA 5 stats, which I now have to scroll all the way through Discord just to goddamn look at because this list is so goddamn long. Like, it's like, oh my god, my phone can't even connect to Discord. But
Yeah.
I'm just turning off Wi-Fi. I can't be bothered.
Okay. No, so this either is covering the trilogy that's coming out.
No, it was more in
Or
terms of like just how well GTA has actually been doing. Um, okay, no, I'm thinking of finding it. Okay, so I'm still scrolling. I believe.
okay, no, okay. So I found the picture that
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. I just
So
found it too.
Rockstar. Okay, so Rockstar Games diverse portfolio of industry-leading intellectual property. So they point out the 4 GTAs they have: GTA 5. They point out Grand Theft Auto Online, Grand Theft Auto 4, and Grand Theft Auto
Auto San Andreas, yeah.
San Andreas. Yep.
And the fact that this series has sold over 350 million units, like, that's nutty.
Yeah.
Because isn't,
Three.
technically speaking, the most popular game of all time, like, Tetris?
I have to get back to you on that. I don't. Not sure
Well,
actually.
not, okay, maybe not the most popular game, but I think it was actually one of the, if not the most sold game of all time, just because of how simplistic it was.
Oh yeah, but you also have to remember that at that time, what was his competition? Pong and fucking Pac-Man.
Hey, to be fair, those games were good for its time. But the fact that Grand Theft Auto 5 has also sold like just over 150 million units sold to date, and we also got other statistics showing that it's reached a billion in retail sales faster than any other entertainment release in history. My heart kind of burns in the memory of Halo 2 right now. Um, and then just this one right here though, the best-selling game of the decade.
I mean, it makes 100% sense
Yeah.
because it has a really massive multiplayer, obviously, and it has really evolved into not just being like um just your stereotypical free roam do whatever you want game. People have actually taken this game, specifically Grand Theft Auto 5, and actually turned it into a whole role-playing world, on the PC version at least. I don't know about console, but there's people who actually role play characters, and they're
Yeah,
just like,
all I know about the roleplay is that I've seen what people do in fan fiction, and I don't want to even begin to delve into that
no, like,
segment.
no, it's not even like in that sense. Like, people actually like play as cops, or they play as drug dealers,
Cops
or
and
they
robbers.
play, like, yeah, essentially it's cops and robbers, but they kind of take it a little more in the serious sense.
Me with like
um
tanks and fighter jets and
no,
hydras.
not like that. No, they actually, they go and have to get a car, and they have to get a hostage, and then then you
Gotcha.
have to, like, kind of talk to the cops, who are actual players as well. Like, these these servers for the Grand Theft Auto 5 on its own has a very heavy community. Like, it's there's a lot of people who play this constantly,
I
and you
mean,
can't.
yeah, I mean, there. I would say that there is definitely a reason for why the game has survived for about a third of our life at this point. And the fact that there's still no new GTA yet. So
I mean, if it ain't broken, why fix it? Like, why make another one? Just keep expanding onto the one you have right now, and
CS:GO.
ride it until it dies.
Yeah. So, and we also got a expanded and enhanced version for the next gen consoles coming November 11th of this year. So, once again, you bought it first on the 360 and the PS3, then you bought it on the Xbox One and PS4. Now you can buy it on the Xbox Series X and the PS5.
Oh
Holy
boy,
Jesus.
your square graphics have never looked better in HD, huh? Them triangle titties in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas are gonna look 10 times better when they're cylinders.
It's just, oh my god. But, yeah, no, so it's, honestly, this is a game with, like, just the kind of stats that it has. I'm really not all that surprised, honestly.
No, the company's doing good with the game, and it's Rockstar, right? Who
Yeah.
make Grand Theft Auto? Yeah,
And, like, Take-Two
they
Interactive, I think, like, they're the ones who are owned by Rockstar,
Yeah.
I think.
like they have not made a bad game, and all of their games have replayability, whether it's online, whether it's playing campaign. So
I mean, again,
it
just
doesn't surprise me.
the game has lasted for a third of our life, so that's kind of an
Yeah.
understatement.
And it's such a simplistic title that it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you start out either you just came out of jail, you just immigrated from somewhere else into this new like world, or what's the other one? Like your cousin is in a gang or something, and he's getting you started and whatever. So like they all have like different startups, and they all are interesting in their own way.
Yeah. So, moving on with the whole stats side of things, Outer World has sold 4 million copy. Has sold 4 million.
Copies?
Yeah, copies. Look, I'm doing my best here, okay? I'm reading from a small text on OBS as I'm trying to find the article on
Oh
my
my
phone.
God.
I'm trying to utilize every piece of equipment I
Alright.
got. Okay.
It's okay. It's all right. I didn't realize you can't read. It's all right. This, you know what? This does not surprise me, solely because of when it got introduced with their amazing trailer. It does not surprise me that so many people have tried to buy copies for the game.
Yeah. I mean, even me, like, even I tried it back when I got Game Pass for the first time because I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, I'm hearing a lot about this game. Like, I'm the kind of gamer who, at this point, I'm willing to try out a game if I hear enough about it through word of mouth. And it's one of those where a lot of people even say, like, word of mouth is what really can make or break a game. You know?
100%. I mean, that's why so many people, how many companies are like invested in, having streamers play the game. And you know what? 99%,
Apex.
like I want to say 90% of the time, they like the game. And if your favorite streamer likes the game, you're probably going to buy it too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me. And like I said, they killed it with their reveal for the game. And it's just, I would have bought it, like, if I had spare money, obviously, but it looks great. That's all I gotta say on that.
Hey man, just buy Game Pass and just all your money issues will just be thrown away in terms of video games.
My bank account has 50 cents.
Well, it's like, hey man, don't forget, like, if you just go for Game Pass instead of buying the actual games, it's kind of like Microsoft's paying you. So,
Fair enough.
Moving on. So, in terms of next bunch of stats, we have the story of The Ascent made 5 million in opening weekend sales. Now, I think The Ascent it's a game I've like vaguely heard of, but not so much. But according to this article, it's a cyberpunk twin shooter meets action RPG.
Yeah, I seen actually quite a couple of streamers playing this game already. It looks fun. It's obviously one of those games that is like, I'll say that any game is better with friends, but this game especially, because it has up to 4-player co-op. It seems. I think it has more, but I could be wrong on that part. Um, it it plays well. I mean, it's a dungeon. It's pretty much a dungeon crawler. Um, that's but unfortunately for me, it's nothing new. It's like cyberpunk world, like aliens are coming at you, so you have to like fight your way through. Um, it's not something that we haven't seen before, but you know what? 5 million in opening weekend. Hell, I mean that has to be a pretty good. It has to be pretty good
Isn't
for
that
any
kind of like
company.
what a lot of games like, or not a lot of games, but isn't that what a lot of companies kind of hope that their games get like just in an opening week or a weekend, typically?
I would assume so.
Like I
Obviously,
think it's
no
like,
comp.
yeah, like I think it would be between about like, I mean, unless you're Call of Duty, because Call of Duty. But I think
Yeah.
like just most games on average, like they hope to make about like 5 to 10 minutes. I could be very well wrong on that. My estimates could be completely like just way out of the ballpark. But
Yeah.
I think that is just like kind of the typical.
I would
Um,
think that like at least like I'm thinking that maybe most companies maybe aim for 1 million and they consider like okay we paid what we invested in the game.
yeah,
Anything more than that is a win.
yeah,
So you know it doesn't surprise me because the game does look fun from what I've seen.
yeah.
So
Continuing on with the whole revenue topic, EA. We have a report that says EA has generated 1.054 billion from live services in the last quarter, with outperformance driven by Apex Legends. This I am not surprised with at all. Just knowing how Apex is, just how great the gameplay is, and it's one of those Apex for me, it's one of those games where as much as I like kind of hate the player base to an extent with my guts, and like not that the player base is bad, but in terms of just like um
all
how
those.
well no just like but in terms of just like how a lot of players like play, and like I have some friends who even say like the player base is like kind of like toxic just in terms of like play styles and whatnot, and
All
just in
those
terms of
fucking
like
fuse mains.
but yeah, no, but like it's one of those games where just the gameplay is just so solid, it just keeps me coming back, and I'm seeing some of these reskins for some of the legends, and I'm just like like even I want to drop some more money on the game. So yeah, no, it really doesn't surprise me with the fact that it earned like $1 billion with the last quarter.
Oh
It
no,
really
one
doesn't.
hundred percent. Like it does not. Even me who plays Apex kind of casual, like
Don't go into
the
ranked.
skins.
Take my advice.
I do play rank occasionally. I do want to be challenged for a fair bit.
Don't go for diamond.
But
Save
I
your
will
sanity.
say though, like Apex does not half-ass their skins. Like
No, they don't.
for
They
the
really don't.
characters, for the all the weapons that are in the fucking game, like they don't half-ass their skins. Like even there must have been some occasions when I've been like, oh, this skin looks sexy as fuck. I want to spend some money on loot boxes. Like, I actually end up doing it? No, because I have some some
Yeah.
moral sense.
Well, it's like it's kind of
But
nice too, because like you don't always have to buy the loot boxes. I mean, yeah, you do have to get them for a majority of the like event skins and whatnot, but it's like you could also buy event skins with the like crafting materials.
yeah,
And boy, am I glad I save up for some of that shit. Um, no, but it is one of those where like I'm personally at a point where I'm actually like happy with the amount of skins that I got, so I don't have
hmm
to buy all that many. But if there's like a character where it's like I see a really great skin or a skin that I feel like suits me better than the one I currently have, like I'll definitely easily drop $20 on it.
oh, 100%.
Um,
Yeah.
it's just everything looks good.
No,
So
Apex right now is doing things.
it's
It
doing
seems like they're
phenomenally
doing the
well.
things the right way.
Yeah,
And it is like they're investing on people to actually play the game. They're investing so much into their art department, which makes the game look great. Now, if only they would invest
yeah.
a little bit
Well,
on
it's
the
like
servers, but you know
yeah,
what?
because I mean, just in terms of execution, I think just the game overall is doing well. It's like because it's not just the gameplay that's solid. You have people who care for the characters, who care about the lore, like, and the fact that they keep it fresh with new characters every couple months, and with like new abilities, like a new meta. It's just all fresh. They put love and care into every aspect of the game. Now, whether or not you
Yeah.
want to say that for cheating and whatnot and anti-cheat, that's a completely different story at the moment. But
I mean, yeah, like, yeah, no, like 100%. Like they don't half-ass anything in that
yeah,
game right now, especially with like, let's say like, and I want to say that every character that has come out so far, they're all fresh because they have their own ability. They have that something unique about them, and that's what makes it so great. Because like it makes you want to play the new character. It's not just some other boring fuck that just joins the battle randomly.
I mean, you just gotta love the new Legends here, just because he's infinite wall hack. So
Yeah, he's wall hacks without having wall hacks, and it's great because that kind of character actually makes you communicate with your team and tell you, hey, there's people behind
I
that in that
mean,
building.
you would hope your teammates would communicate with you at that point.
I mean, okay, if you're running trios, obviously you're communicating. You're not just sitting. You're not just like lonely ass in your like solo queuing into rank. Like you're asking to lose, unless you're ratting the whole way through. But generally, yes, I know it's you. That's why I called you out, bitch.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But in the newest character, Seer, he has that kind of ability where he detects the heartbeats of the characters, so he has a general idea where people are. So it's a character that you want to communicate with your team,
Yeah.
and he's fun to play. He looks fun to play, like just from the trailer that they released and seeing people actually play him.
Yeah.
Even I want to try him, and I don't have enough fucking things to unlock him.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a new event to where, like, if they have a skin that I can buy, I can just buy, because I want to get him something more than the default skin, because I haven't really liked his other skins. But that's how life services go for you. They create nice skins that you want to buy, and then you're like, son of a bitch.
And then you cry.
Yeah, pretty much. Continuing on with the whole statistics and whatnot. Not that this is necessarily statistic, but happy 1 year anniversary to the Fall Guys. Last year they came out on August 4th, and it's been a year since then.
Wow.
Now,
Something? Fall Guys actually is a game that took. They came out, I want to say, at the right time, but unfortunately, the content that we were all hoping for it to release was not being pumped out fast enough. It still has a decent community playing on Steam. It's still a fun game occasionally to jump into.
yeah, like it's one of those. I know I like playing it casually, but because of the fact that I'm the kind of person who likes using controller a lot, it's one of those. I'm kind of waiting for it to come out on Xbox before I kind of just start playing casually again. This is lazy for me, but I don't like the idea of having to constantly plug in a a USB drive to my desktop in order to constantly play it every single time. So, but yeah, no, it definitely is a fun game. Like I definitely recommend it if people are just kind of looking. If you want Mario Party, that's not exactly Mario. I would recommend it essentially.
I would say if Fall Guys I don't know if they have custom lobbies yet or not.
I don't
But
think
the
so.
day that they do it, this would be an awesome game to play if you're a streamer who has a kind of like a decent sized community.
Oh
So
yeah.
you can just jump in with this. And hell, your chat might end up killing you in the first round. So
Yeah.
good for
Now,
them.
yeah. Now, moving on from all the statistics, anniversaries, and whatnot. So, actually, okay, no, I take that back. We actually
Yeah,
do
I was
have a
gonna say,
big.
what the fuck are you
Yeah,
on?
we actually do have one more statistic to go over, unless I'm lying to myself. Again, we have a huge ass list today.
Yeah, hello.
Nintendo Switch has now outsold the PS3 and Xbox 360. This does not shock me in the slightest, at all.
It does not shock me either, especially with the times that we're in right now. The Nintendo Switch is the most sought over console. It's apart from the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One right now.
So what you're telling me is that in terms of trying to get a console, it's going to be PS5 scalp first, then Nintendo Switch, then Xbox.
Yes. Unless you're looking for a footstool, then you can get the Xbox before the Switch.
Oh my god.
But no, so I want to say that the biggest reason why this is something is because the Nintendo Switch came out at the beginning of the pandemic. and everybody was looking for something to do while
Yeah.
they're indoors. That's why so many people were buying this like crazy. There was a time when you couldn't actually get one.
So many
Like the
people.
actual.
Yeah, no.
Like
So many people got bored during the pandemic. They started buying Xbox One X's, thinking it was the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, what the like? People don't read these days, including you.
I mean, Microsoft
And
also has like the most questionable name like creations for their stuff. So
Yeah, Loki. Yeah, but it came out at the right time, and that's what they got so many sales. Like
Yeah.
there was a time when like even when I wanted a Switch because obviously Smash just came out.
it's
Like
just
I wanted a
every
Switch.
time there's a Smash, you just have to buy a Switch. Or not a Switch, but it's like every time there's a new Smash game, you have to buy the new Nintendo
Curse
console.
you, Nintendo.
It's just a tradition. You have to do it.
You have to do it. Like you have to blow the $500 plus the 60 plus another $60 for an extra controller for your friend to play because clearly at that point you're not gonna be able to plug in your game controller anymore.
Well, I mean, now we have online play, so we don't exactly have
Yeah,
to
that. Oh
spend
yeah,
money
that's
on the
true.
extra
Fuck
controller.
friends. Fuck his friends.
What friends?
But what are friends? No, but there was a time when you couldn't get a Nintendo Switch, and the only option was you get the Nintendo Switch Lite, which nobody wants. Let's be real. Nobody wants that just the fucking the tablet thing. You want it to plug into your fucking
My
TV.
sister actually got that, actually, believe it or not.
Good for her. She's one of the 1%ers.
Yeah.
But you know what? At that time, it was as rare as the PlayStation 5 right now to be able to get a Nintendo Switch, unless you got it from a scalper.
Yeah. And it's one of those. I know I said before that the Nintendo Switch isn't exactly a console which I play all that often, but now that we're gonna be getting Diamond and Pearl remakes this year, as well as Legends of Arceus next year, I'm probably gonna just start taking out the Switch again, honestly, because it's one of those kind of games. I mean, granted, Legends of Arceus is just rip off discount Breath of the Wild, but like those are the kind of games that like just want me to get me to play Nintendo, honestly. So
Like, no joke, when those release, hell, I might end up pick up either Sword and Shield as well and trying it on the Switch. Cause don't get me wrong, it has been a hot minute since I don't want to say decent, since a game that you could just sit down and take with you, a Pokemon game for you to just take with you anywhere, has come out. Like,
haven't you heard of
Pokemon Unite
Go?
Pokemon Go doesn't count. It's not made by Nintendo. Come on now. Like, no, it's like
Pokemon Cafe.
Nobody plays that. That shit broke. That shit extinct now. No, like it's been a minute since you got in your like Pokemon Emerald or your Pokemon Ruby,
Yeah.
your Pokemon Yellow, like that handheld experience where you could literally go to your family's event that you don't want to go to, but you got your game in your hand, so you go anyways. Because you want to show face.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because now for me it's gonna be tied between okay, do I do cloud gaming or Nintendo Switch? Honestly, it's gonna be curious to see which one wins out. But yeah, no. So honestly, good on Nintendo, man. Nintendo Switch is good, and it deserves all the praise that it's getting as well as the sales.
Yes, and curse them as well, because they're making me spend money.
You say that as if it's an issue. It's money well spent.
Did I talk about my 50 cents in my bank account?
you might have mentioned that. Let's see. What was the? Oh my God.
Somebody who's about to be broke also. Blizzard's president steps down.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm trying to find the article right now, and I'm hating myself. There's so
That's
many articles.
Like, let's be real. We all kind of saw this coming after. We'll kind of like briefly talk about it later in this episode. But like after the first lawsuit and then another one to piggyback behind that one, like it was bound to happen. Like
Again,
you can't stay.
They screwed up. It's like they screwed up when they're now paying their employees to go on strike.
That is some shit.
Like, it's just one of the, and again, it's out of all the companies, the fact that it's Activision, you can just be like, yeah, I'm not really surprised at this point. Like, that's just how low they've fallen. Honestly.
Yeah, I reposted it. But yeah, no, like they made it seem like they're helping them, by paying them to go on strike when that's not the actual like reason why they're going on strike. Like, it these
they're
people
just a
clearly
hot
did not.
mess.
Yeah, clearly these people did not understand why their employees are fucking pissed. And you know what? I'm glad that he stepped down, and hopefully whoever decides to take up the position, hopefully guys Blizzard back into its glory days. Because right now they're like 6 feet under and almost at hell.
I mean, they're kind of just like a husk at this point. Like all the creative people, from what I've heard, have just like they've already left. So yeah, and it's funny too because I think I've mentioned this before, but there are a lot of people, like a lot of the original creators of like the Blizzard company and like even like Activision and COD or whatnot, like they moved on to form their like own companies and new studios, and they've actually done fairly well for themselves. So
Yeah, like those people, we mentioned, like I want to say in the last episode we did together, it was that those people understood what the company was doing wrong and they decided to jump ship before the ship sank.
Titanic.
Yeah.
Moving on and kind of jumping back into the vein of Nintendo a bit. Well, sort of. We have something which says Niantic response to fans' fury over Pokemon Go changes. So when I actually went over this just like for a little bit, and I believe I looked up a YouTube video on this. Basically, what happened, and correct me if I'm wrong on this because I can't exactly look at these articles. It's so much scrolling. But yeah, no. So from what I believe I heard, so when the pandemic hit, Niantic actually made changes to Pokemon Go, and where you were able to get like more stuff, and just the game was made easier just because of the fact that people could not go outside. And a lot of players apparently got pissed off because of the fact that they were apparently rolling back the changes, and meanwhile, lockdowns were basically still in effect for a lot of places, which upset a lot of players.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. Um, I understand that we're in the middle of a pandemic, and you shouldn't be going outside unless it's completely necessary. But there is still things you cannot do to avoid being in contact with other people. You know, you can wear your mask, you can,
Yeah.
distance and stuff like that. Them even announcing like this update to like enforce the idea that, oh, you don't have to move as much anymore. Like, let's be real. This was the first Pokemon game that actually got you to get up and move around and see the world. Like,
Back with
like
school, and my
actually
parents
see
couldn't
the
even get me
world.
to do it.
Exactly. Fuck school. Fuck parents. That video game got you to fucking go see Grand Central and other areas that you didn't know existed.
Yeah. It was kind of funny because I remember when they announced a game, like it was some game around like brushing your teeth or whatever. My mother's friend, who's actually like an ex-dentist or whatever, they said that they actually didn't like the idea of a game because it's like why should you be rewarded for brushing your teeth? Like you should just do it because it's the right thing to do. I'm just thinking to myself, yes, because how many people do things just because it's the right thing to do, not simply because of the fact that there's an incentive for doing so. It's like, oh hey, let's just like, I mean that's basically what we're just taught our entire life. You go to school, you get good grades, so you can get into a good college. You get good grades in college, and you go to a good college, so you can get out and have a good paying job. Like that's literally the mentality you have drilled into your entire life.
Because that happens.
That's a different story for another day. But
But so I think people are just. I think the fury is just a bunch of people being butthurt that they are not getting to be as lazy as it used to. As they're not getting to be as lazy as the update was gonna make the game out to seem.
well, no,
And
I think it's because of the fact that they started rolling back a lot of the perks, and like there are a lot of places from what I believe are still like locked down or whatever, and plus you have all the new variant strains going out, so and that
yeah,
has people like worried and whatnot.
and you know what? It's awful to say, but you can't make everybody happy.
That is true.
It's just what it is.
No, that is true.
Like occasionally you you do have to go out eventually. Like it's not about like so yes, you could stay indoors the entire pandemic, right?
Yep.
If you're a Pokemon Go gamer, there's only so much limited stuff you can do, so you should probably actually get up and go out for a minute or two. I'm not saying you should be going in the middle inside of a fucking mall where there's thousands of people, but going up and down the street doesn't sound that bad. Like going to
As
your nearest gym and going back.
as the COD World at War 10th Prestige achievement is called, go out and get some sun.
Exactly. There you go. Or it's gonna be pale as white as Graywolf here.
Hey, I'm actually not that pale away. I've been hanging out in the sun for like the last
Hey.
5 years.
Casper looks at you and he's jealous.
That's just insulting. Um. Ooh. So, moving on to the next topic. Unless you had anything more you wanted to say about the last one.
Nope. I think I'm good.
So, we talked before about how the Super Mario 64 back in July sold for $1.56 million. Well, now we have another game that has sold for more money. Once again, it's a Mario title. Really not all that shocked. Rare Super Mario Brothers game sells for $2 million.
Brother, where are these people getting this money from? Like, what the fuck? Are they just having they just crap it on one and like blah?
No,
Like, oh,
yeah.
Mario title,
And
gimme.
and before I go anywhere else, this apparently was so big in terms of news that my mother actually read about it in like some kind of like ragmag magazine or something, or ragtag newspaper or something.
Mm-hmm.
And when she saw it, she's like, "Oh my God, how much money do you have lying around that you can just spend $2 million, especially in a pandemic?" And it's like, my first thought was just like, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's a sealed copy of Mario. Like, I can't blame them. Like, that's the scary part.
Yes, I can. What do you mean? Of course I can fucking blame them. They're spending $2 million on a piece of cardboard and plastic and some microchipping. Holy shit! Yes, I can blame them. Like, okay, don't get me wrong. If you got into that point in your life where $2 million is this, spending it on this is worth it for you, props to you. Enjoy your copy of Mario that you're never gonna open.
You didn't have any complaints about Super Mario 64.
Hey, Super Mario 64 slaps. This is Super Mario Bros. That shit is basic as fuck.
Yeah, but
at least Mario 64 has some free roaming to it.
Yeah, but
and let's be real, they're not gonna fucking open it either way. They're just gonna have it sit on a shelf with that fucking little light shining onto it, and everybody who's gonna show up at their house, they're gonna be like, look how this cartridge that I spent $1.96 million on, and bask in its glory.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
yes,
no,
I can blame them.
But yeah, no. Honestly, it's I'm not curious though to see if we have any more games, or specifically Mario games, that kind of beat out this record.
I'm just waiting for the Mario Super Mario Double Dash to get fucking $3 million.
Like if it just gets to be a meme at this point, I'm gonna love it and hate it at the same time.
Dude, I'ma hate it more than love it, cause I'll be like, why the fuck did I give my Nintendo 64 away? I could have so much money now.
Dude, don't even talk to me about N64s. Like, the fact that I bought a used one for like $300 and then I saw a new one like a year later for like $270, factory sealed. We don't go into that. So anyway though, moving on to our next subject. Sony is going to continue releasing PS4 games until 2023, according to an analyst. I'm not really surprised by this, honestly. Considering the fact that it's like, you have to basically win lottery to get a PS5.
Yeah, it makes complete sense for them to do this. Like, until they reach a healthy number of people who actually have a PlayStation 5 versus the PlayStation 4, this is a good stretch point to continue to make games compatible with the PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Now, it's one of those, I'm not mad at this decision, but if anything though, like, I do kind of laugh at it, because they did, I don't know if they necessarily boasted about it, but they did specifically say that all, like, the next-gen games were not going to be coming to previous gen at all. So like I do find it just like a tad bit funny. Um,
Listen, sometimes you have to eat your own words, and you have
no, no,
to
and I
go
completely
back on
agree.
what you
Yeah,
say.
no,
If
and I
you
completely
want to
agree.
keep the base,
Yeah,
the fan base that's literally busting down your door to get a PlayStation 5.
I mean like how we have Amazon workers who are just stealing the right out of the box and using the
Dude,
box.
that is some shit. I've actually read a couple of articles where they're like the
I,
package
I've,
got to the
I've,
home
I've,
and it was empty.
yeah, no,
I'm
I've,
like,
I've,
holy
I've seen
brother.
videos on that, but no, and it's interesting too, cause I know that with Microsoft specifically, besides the fact that they're not only doing the same thing, although I don't know if they're doing it to 2023, but I know that for a fact that they're giving the Xbox Ones, the originals, like a huge boost of life, because they're making it so that you can actually cloud stream Xbox Series X games to the Xbox One. So it's gonna be interesting, honestly.
Yeah. No, I think so. Yeah, no, I think this is a good thing that they're doing. Obviously, we'll see where the numbers stand
Does this
as
mean
to
I
the
can actually get
population.
Spider-Man PS5 on PS4? Bro,
Dude,
I
nah,
would actually like that. I would actually
that'd
like
be
that.
cool. But
Yeah.
it's a nice thing for them to do. They don't have to do it. It's a nice thing they're doing.
I'm like trying to read the next thing on my list, which is like xCloud at on Windows PC.
xCloud on Windows PC.
Yeah. No, okay. So yeah. No, I just wasn't sure if something got cut off. But so I think if memory serves correctly, I was actually looking at the Xbox app not too long ago, and it was actually talking about how you would be able to use xCloud through the Xbox app on the PC.
That
Is
that
that
makes that sounds nice.
because I know that they remake it so that you can do it through their website, and I've actually tried doing it through the website, which means that when I actually go to my cousin's wedding,
Mhm.
later in October of this year, I can actually just bring a controller, just bring the Bluetooth USB drive, and then just like play it on my cousin's computer because it could just be streamed there. They don't have to have a beast thing.
Mhm. I
So
mean, no, this is this. I think this is a very good thing for them to do because obviously we don't all, um, obviously
have four thousand
some
dollar
people play
PCs.
on PC, some people play on the Xbox. Would you want to play vice versa depending on where you're going? It's a
Yeah.
massive perk.
I mean, especially when you consider the fact that, and again, this is one of the things I'm loving about Microsoft this generation, just Xbox in general, the fact that they are committed to letting you play anywhere, like any of your games, any device. And it's one of those things where it's like it's nice and it makes it more convenient. And the fact that it's like a lot of games are having like cross play, cross progression, it really is just nice. You can just pick up where you left off, you know.
Yeah, you want to take a shit, you can play your game in the bathroom. You want to go cooking? Hell, you can take your Xbox. You can play it outside too if you bring a
Hey
TV.
man, if you got overcooked, you gotta keep cooking. You gotta keep the
Yeah.
like food flowing. So, but yeah, no, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that works out because I'm definitely gonna be checking it out just to see how well it works. Um,
Mhm.
now this is actually a topic I've been looking forward to just a little bit. Hades now being available on all Microsoft devices, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PC, I believe, and the fact that it's also available on Game Pass. Now, I don't know why, but I feel like Hades is a game you've potentially tried, or
I have played a lot of it. I've watched people who played and beat the game, actually beat it, and it is a amazing title for its low price of like $15 or $20. Or if you get the Game Pass, you can literally pay $1.
yeah, no. So I was actually I did the smart move, and so I paid gold like $60 a year for gold, and then I just bought Game Pass Ultimate for $1, and now I have Ultimate for an entire year. So I paid
Yeah.
$61 for an
No,
entire year
I
for games.
100% say if anybody who has not tried the game, 100% try it. The soundtrack is great. The story is great. If you're into dungeon crawlers, this game slaps as hell. It gives you so much replayability.
Yeah,
If you're into Greek mythology and shit,
yeah.
this does great a lot too.
Yeah, and as someone who's actually very picky on the games that they play, I actually decided to try this game out too, just because I was like, you know what, I've heard a lot of things about it. Like, why not just try it for the heck of it? It I'll say this: some of the decisions actually did surprise me. Not even, and like I don't even say that in a bad way. It's one of those where even like when you die in the game, like it still works as part of the story too, which I actually find to be a very interesting mechanic. Because
Yeah.
that's not something you find a lot in a game where it's like, oh, I died, so it's like I gotta restart. It's like, nope, you died. It's like, oh, well, that's actually canonically part of the story too. And it's just like, you die, and you just keep going. But like I've beaten the game once. I'm still using the other tools in the game to try and beat the game again to like progress the story further. So we're just getting more of the unlocks. But yeah, no, it's definitely a good game. Um,
Mhm.
I definitely recommend 10 out of 10. This is coming from someone who's picky as all shit. You can ask Caesar. You can ask my sister. Oh no, she's just flat out giving
Nah.
up with me.
No, but yeah, 100% try it.
Um, I forget if this is on the list. Oh,
I actually enjoy this.
rumored Alan Wake 2. Have you ever played the first Alan Wake?
Yes, I actually have, and I beat the first Alan Wake, and I actually played the DLC as well. It's actually a very good. It's actually a very good game. It actually has a very solid story. Um, the mechanics in the game are unique, and they're unique at the time when they came out, and I think people do not give this game enough props for what it does. Because it makes you.
Isn't it horror themed?
It is horror themed, but it's more of like a psychological horror.
Psychological horror.
Um, so it does a good job at it. So you're essentially in Alan Wake you play as a writer, and he makes kind of like horror novels or something like that. It's been a minute since I played it, but I love the game anyways.
Yeah, because I've personally never played it. I don't even. I think at most I may have seen like 2 minutes worth of footage of it, gameplay footage, unless that was Dying Light, which very much possible. I like that's the one with the flashlight, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Shining
yeah,
at things. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So I have seen some gameplay of it. I don't know. It's just, and maybe it's because of the fact that it wasn't too much in word of mouth in terms of just like where I went. But it was just never a game I checked out. But I know that it was a popular game, so I figured it would be good to mention here. So
Yeah, no. If the rumors are correct, it would be a very exciting thing to see it come back because unfortunately, the DLC was not very great. The base game was better, and the story has a lot of potential to, have a sequel or a prequel. Whatever the way they
yeah.
decide to take this. Um, but yeah, no, it would be great to see an Alan Wake too. It's
Now, just to make you feel old, how old is this game again?
uh, good question.
I feel like
Let's
it's
see.
pre 2010.
You might be right on that. Let me see. Alan Wake is actually a 2010 title.
Oh wow, okay. So I was actually sort of right in the nose since I
It
always
is.
guessed the year.
It is 11 years old. Yep.
Damn.
And it's still, I want to say, for its graphics, I want to say they were maybe a little bit ahead of its time.
Yeah, I don't remember
But
too much about it. I just remember the damn flashlight. um, moving on though, in terms of video game rumors, so there is currently a rumor that a new Sly Cooper 5, is currently in works for the PlayStation 5.
I unfortunately have not played any of the Sly Coopers, so I don't have
Sly
much. But
Sly Cooper, it was a very interesting franchise, and what I mean interesting, it was very fun, but uh, obviously like anthropomorphic animals and whatnot, but it was very unique. It was out of all the titles and games I played on the PlayStation back in the day, it was one of the few that definitely stood out to me. It was fairly linear. A little bit open world because of the fact that you always had the open hub world a bit, where it's just like you had a bit of like a open world where you kind of like went from place to place doing missions before like a kind of like a final heist or whatever. Um, I know that Sly Cooper 4, it wasn't. I don't. I think it was either financially not well received or it was critically not well received. But the fact that I really do hope that there is another Sly Cooper in development, mainly just because of the fact that I've always been a fan of its story. I like the characters. I think the characters have always been very charming. Sly Cooper being the bit of the sly bad boy Bentley the brains, and then just Murray the bronze. Just it's very just charming characters in my opinion. So I'm honestly hoping that one's true. Um, you have any more thoughts you want to say on that, or?
No, like I said, I have not played those titles. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So then, next on the list, and oh my fucking god, I don't know why they would ever need this many, but for Call of Duty Vanguard, they have confirmed that there are now several studios, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 studios working on Vanguard. My only question, why? It's a Call of Duty title.
So,
like, just
did Activision already jump ship from Blizzard?
I don't think Blizzard ever actually made Call of Duty.
No, but I'm talking Activision. Isn't Activision part of the people who actually?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So from another thing that I actually forgot to mention about this, apparently, Activision's name wasn't actually part of the trailer for Vanguard.
Oh.
And that was
Well, damn.
yeah, no, that was something that they actually pointed out on Twitter. The fact that Activision's name, because like they had Treyarch's name, they had like developer companies' names on there, but Activision was actually missing from the trailer, which I actually found interesting.
Huh.
So
I'm wondering if this is like they're trying to like kind of like lay low and like not put their names out in the sky, so like people don't like go googling their name and be like, oh shit. All this is
yeah,
going on with that company.
they don't need to do that to keep their name out of the spotlight. They do a fine job of doing that themselves. But
No. But you know what? If this is true, then I have high expectations for Vanguard. Because if there's this many hands being put into this one title, I'm expecting big things.
So an interesting thing I've seen about Vanguard so far is the fact that on the main Call of Duty channel, the trailer for Vanguard has overwhelming likes, right? Now, on other channels that have also posted the trailer, the like to dislike ratio is about half and half, which I find interesting. Because I don't think I've actually seen that for any other of the Call of Duty trailers besides like maybe something like Infinite Warfare.
So, I'm thinking that most of the hate is most likely because people think that Activision is working on this as well, and they're just not paying attention to this minor detail that you just pointed out as well.
Well, I think it's also because of the fact that like just a lot of people are just kind of I think a lot of people are just like burned out from COD because it really is just the same game every year. Like I mean that's part of the reason or the main reason why like I personally stopped buying it. Also the fact that it's just like just a lot of the COD games lately have just been absolutely glitchy just on launch and just buggy and just
100%.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing. So if there's this many hands working on Vanguard currently, this is shooting high in the sky. But I'm expecting a Modern Warfare 2 level kind of game. I'm expecting a Black Ops 2 level kind of game. Man, like you remember those experiences.
I'm just gonna say this: I love you, but I feel like you're having a little bit too high of expectations. And like, don't get me wrong, like this is not to shit on any of the developers or the programmers who work on the game, because honestly, I feel like they probably normally put up with, like they do their absolute best job. But at the same time, Call of Duty, it is very much a recycled franchise, and it's one of those where I just I don't know anything about game development. Just want to put that out there for a full disclaimer. I don't see the reason why they would need 7 studios to work on a current Call of Duty.
So the one way that I'm thinking that they might need these many companies behind it is maybe they're not big companies, they're smaller companies. So one company's working on one part of the game, the other one's working on this, the other one's working on this.
I mean, that
So
kind of
this
happens
way,
when you start firing like 10% of your fucking employees after record profit years. So.
yeah, I mean, so yeah, no, but I mean, in a way, in a way it is cheaper, and you can actually almost guarantee a actual release date for this title.
I mean, Call of Duty just comes out every single year, though. Like that's
Yeah,
just.
so I'm assuming they're attempting to stick to that quota, like by making 6 companies work on the game. Now, I don't know what companies are working on it.
I mean,
So
so in terms of companies, we have Treyarch, High Moon, Beanox, Raven, and Sledgehammer.
So I know of Treyarch and I know a little bit of Sledgehammer.
Yeah, Sledgehammer's
I'm not.
games I don't think have been too well received the last few years. Like it's funny too because I believe that they were considered to be the worst out of the 3 main developers of like Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch. Although I think now Treyarch is kind of fighting over that mantle just a tad bit, I believe.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have hope that Treyarch keeps this game in the right path.
Yeah.
And
So
actually give me a story that is
yeah,
not dog shit.
as far as Treyarch is concerned, I believe that I actually did see a tweet showing that they were the ones who were going to be leading the whole development in zombies for Vanguard.
Oh,
So
that's great.
it's great, but when you think of it, but when you kind of hear about that, it's kind of like great. So how's the zombies in Cold War going to go? The remaining content.
Yeah, I mean, I have high expectations for this game with this many hands being worked on it. That's all I gotta say on this.
Yeah.
Like,
So, moving on to our next subject. Skyrim 10th Anniversary Edition announced for PS5 and Xbox Series X.
please, for the love of God, put this game in the ground. It does not need this many revamps.
Sure it does.
Holy shit! No,
Sure
it does
Why
not.
not? Why not? When did Skyrim even come out again?
Let me find out. This game is.
I've like that game. I'm tempted to say like goddamn 2005 or something. I thought, just because I know it's been around for a long while, like at least a decade.
It came out in 2011.
Oh wow, I was way off. Okay.
But for the love of Christ, let this game die. Make another title. Low key. It is not all that people make it out to seem. The only reason why this game is still afloat is because of mods.
Yeah, I'd believe that. I'd believe that.
The game itself is very straightforward and simplistic. That you don't actually have to do any side quests in order to just get through the main story. Like the game hopes you do side quests, and that's why they have a mechanic where you literally cannot not have a side quest because something new always happens in the world, and somehow you happen to be there.
So out of curiosity, does that mean it's like procedural side quests where it's just constantly spawning in side quests for you, or?
Yes.
Okay.
It is always spawning some random side quest for you.
Oh, I would fucking hate that then at some point.
Like the first, like there's some that are scripted, and then there's some that you just know are not worth doing because they're just generated.
Yeah, it's one of those. If Skyrim were to ever come to Game, actually no wait, Skyrim's goddamn Bethesda, so yeah no right? Skyrim's Bethesda. Yeah. So yeah, no, I actually wouldn't be surprised if it came to Game Pass. At that point, no, watch me be the kind of person who's just like, oh hey, Skyrim, I've heard about this game like a lot, right? Downloads it from Game Pass, plays it for like 2 minutes, gets bored, uninstalls it.
Sounds about right. It literally only takes 2 minutes to get through the tutorial area.
Lamau.
And after that is downhill from there.
All right. So, anything else you want to share on that real quick, or?
Nope.
All right.
Let this game die.
Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, Caesar's the king of the fan base.
Let this game die.
So moving on to some more depressing news a bit, and this is actually a topic I actually do have some opinions on myself. Halo Infinite will feature no co-op, campaign, or forge at launch.
Why does it do this to me?
So it's one of those. I understand why they're doing what they're doing because of the fact that they want it to be. They want those features to be as bug free as possible and as functional as possible, seamlessly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't have a complaint with that, like at all. I really don't. I'd rather have features that are functioning properly on release than just releasing it just for the sake of getting out release like a holiday season, yada yada yada. But at the same time, it's one of those 343 had basically told us in the past that they would be launching with split screen at launch for future Halo games, and the fact that they're not doing it, it's just I don't want to necessarily say it's a slap in the face, but it's kind of it's disheartening, honestly. After they told us that that's what they were going to do from now on, and it's one of those where yes, when it releases in the future and it plays well and it's a whole lot of fun to do, the point still stands is that the game's going to be released incomplete at launch. So,
I mean, so my stance on this is that kind of like what you just said is that I don't mind them delaying these things to make sure that they're working properly, to make sure people don't abuse like glitches or anything that could happen. Obviously, people will always find glitches in the game, so that they'll do the best they can.
yeah. Now, it's one of those, as I said, like I definitely do commend it, but it's one of those I'm not so much upset at the state of the game as much as it is I'm upset with the fact that 343 they made a promise slash kind of an expectation. They gave us an expectation in the past about how Halo Infinite would launch, and the fact that they're not standing by their own expectation, like that's just what personally has me upset. Honestly, you know.
So, like, I I kind of want to take the side of the company on this and be like, so they've been working on this for so long, and as long as what they release shows the efforts that they
Yeah.
have been mentioning, I don't mind like that they're delaying other things.
Yeah, no,
But
I can
if
agree with
you
that.
release a half-ass broken game with the amount of hype that you've been putting up for this,
Halo 5.
yes, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that, child.
MCC?
That, hey, MCC is actually popular.
No, but like
It-
back when it first came out though, it was just ooh.
Okay, we don't talk about
that.
But you know what? It has some high expectations, and we have to see when the game actually releases if it's not a broken piece of shit, if it's actually functional, and it's not glitchy everywhere.
Yeah. Now, I will say this based on my own experiences from the beta, and for those who haven't seen it, I do have a special episode of where I'm talking with Joker about the tech preview and whatnot. And for a tech preview that's, I think, was about a couple months behind from the current iteration that they were working on, I really did not have all that many issues. And even Pro Ace Joker, even he was saying that he was surprised by how few crashes he had. Like, because he was playing that game for a straight 24 hours, and at max he had only, like, maybe 3, maximum 4 crashes. So, all things considered, that's not bad at all. especially when you consider that most games
Yeah.
nowadays at launch are just buggy, just complete bug ridden. Cyberpunk 2077, anyone? um, but yeah, no. So I do think that this game is gonna be functioning pretty well at launch. So, and I
Like one thing I will say, put it into this also is that with how bad Call of Duty games are doing, this is the time for Halo to shine. And it's not. There's no better time for Halo Infinite to be coming out, especially in the holidays, because people are gonna be looking more into this
well,
and less
especially
into
right
Call of
now since
Duty.
the fact that people are right now hopping on Splitgate because of the fact that it's very Halo-esque
It's literally Halo
with
and
portals.
Portal had a baby.
Yeah. And the fact
Like,
that people are going crazy over that is just because of the fact that they need somebody to fill that Halo void because it's just been so long. And even myself, like I've been playing it a decent amount too.
hmm
Like I don't know if you've tried it yet, but I would recommend it if you haven't yet. Um,
no, I've seen enough gameplay, but I can see what you mean.
yeah, no,
And yes, Halo is coming out at a grand time. All the features don't need to come out right now. All they need is solid multiplayer and a good campaign
yeah,
for you to last until the co-op comes out. And
yeah,
then you can break the game with your friends.
yeah. Now just really quick before we move on, uh, from the whole co-op campaign and Forge thing. So, and actually, this is going to tie into our next topic a bit. So, we actually got the release date for Halo Infinite some days ago. That being December 8th. Christmas has come goddamn early this year. Holy shit. And with the release date, we also finally got the specs for what you're going to need to run Halo Infinite on PC. And I'll say right now, I'm glad I got the PC that I have. The only thing that isn't up to the recommended specs is the graphics card a bit, but it's a lot higher than the minimum. So I don't know about you, but I'm sitting comfortably, I think, for
So
playing
you have
Infinite
to.
on PC.
So when you're looking at the system requirements, you remember that recommended means you can run the game on high or medium. So you're still getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because I have a 1660 Ti, I believe, graphics card right now. So
You mean at 1060?
no, it's a 1660.
Person, that doesn't exist. Is it GeForce?
It's like Nvidia or
Nvidia?
GeForce. Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be a 1060. There's no 1660. I'm
Whatever.
fairly sure there's not. But
I mean, if
but
you
yeah,
do you want to look it
you
up?
can you can run the games on high. You can run the games on high or medium. Your computer might run a little bit hot, but um, you can run them, and that's what really matters.
Yeah. GeForce GTX 1660 Ti.
What the fuck is this thing?
I'm right in between the 1080 and 2070 that's recommended for. So I'm perfectly basically in the middle right now. So
I did not know this existed.
you
Holy
see,
shit.
I'm not. You don't give me enough credit. You don't give me enough credit.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, no, and like I have like a medium powered PC, so like mid tier gaming computer. So the fact that I'm able to run this, I think, is good. The fact that you can go as low as though, um, then again, as I said, it was like minimum requirement. But the fact that you can go as low as 1080, I think, all things considered, not that bad.
No, it's so most computers nowadays should have at least
At 1080,
what the minimum is required
yeah,
to run Halo Infinite. I want to say, obviously, I don't know everybody's financial situation, so don't take my word for that.
especially with
But
COVID.
computers right now, um, to run most games on a high to ultra, the minimum requirements for Halo Infinite, it's kind of a good benchmark to have your computer at to know that okay, I can still run Halo Infinite and maybe some other titles that might come out later in the future.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no. How's speaking of the specs though? How's your computer looking for running it?
Oh, I'm fairly sure I can run these on high. I'm not talking ultra. Like if I run it on like max settings, my computer might overheat in like maybe 12,
Hey
14
man,
hours.
just remember, the sacrifice will be worth it for that
No,
campaign.
it won't. I'm sorry. I'm a Halo fan too, but it ain't worth $1,400.
I think for Joker it's gonna be worth like 3,000.
Oh.
Yeah, no, because
Listen,
he's actually said he wanted to get a second PC.
listen. When Halo Infinite co-op comes out, I'm gonna do my best to play through a whole season. The co-op.
Would you like me to
And
join you on that? I promise you'll be able to get in a bathroom break.
no, no. I'm gonna try to do the co-op with my buddy who always joins me for all of my co-op runs, and we'll see if my computer lasts streaming plus playing Halo Infinite on co-op on the max difficulty.
You and I still have not played Halo yet together for a long time. I'm sad.
Good, let's keep it that way.
God damn, you're cold.
One day.
Oh yeah, something bad. Anyway, moving on to our next topic, we have Pokemon TV is now available on the Nintendo Switch.
What the fuck is this?
So Pokemon TV, I actually downloaded it on my phone a couple days ago, and basically what it is that you can actually watch. It's an app where you can actually watch the Pokemon series.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yo.
Unfortunately, it does not have every single episode,
Oh.
but it has.
This is trash now.
Well, it has Generations, it has Legends, it has the first season. I like, yeah. Like,
If he has the first season, I'm sold.
yeah. I believe it also has season 2, but yeah, no, it doesn't have. I think like at least 5 or 6 seasons or whatever. I don't know if it's licensing issues or whatnot. But the fact that I can actually just kind of watch Pokemon on the go now, just on my phone, like some of my favorite episodes. I mean, granted, yes, like I know I know that I said it was on the Switch and whatnot. That's the primary reason I was able to put it on here, just because okay, Nintendo Switch gaming related, there. But yeah, no, just the fact that you can actually just watch it on the go now, it's just nice. You don't have to be
Listen.
strapped down to a TV.
People don't understand how underrated the very first season of Pokemon is.
I mean, it's my
Like-
favorite season. If you want to blame nostalgia, cool, shoot me. But
Yeah, shoot me, please.
but
It is 100% worth watching.
Yeah.
If anybody's ever interested in those.
especially if you are a fan of Pokemon and you've never really just gotten into the series before, I like, and yes, biased. I'm someone who's kept up with Pokemon ever since well, honestly, ever since I was literally a child, like when I was born. But the first season, it does. I feel like a lot of things right. It treats the audience as well as the main character, just like they're finding out everything, and they even have their companions basically teach Ash all about Pokemon. So it's just a very nice kind of I don't know if I want to say guide along, but
Yeah, just don't question why Ash is a child through all of the seasons.
no,
Just
don't
question that.
no, don't question why Ash is a child throughout all the season, and then for the newest season he turns all of a sudden 6.
Oh yeah, that too.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Child Edition.
Oh, Lord.
Let's see. So we covered Pokemon TV. So the next stop, or the next thing we have, I'm now going back and forth on Discord again. I hate everything. I know it's here somewhere. Oh yeah.
Apex prize pool.
Year 2 of Apex Legends Global Series has a $5 million prize pool. AGLS Championship would be $2 million, and the playoffs would be $1 million.
Holy balls.
Hot damn. And I believe this time they're making it. I don't know if we've already covered this, but this time they're actually allowing console players to be involved.
Alright, Graywolf, it's time to get out of retirement and rat our way through the tournament so we can win 5 mil.
Dude, I'll just say this. I just remember seeing a comment about Halo 2 Legendary and someone saying, just don't play it, get a life, and by that, I mean, get a life, enjoy your life, because if you try to complete Halo 2 on Legendary, it will just suck the life right out of you. So you just use your time for something better, just less miserable.
What?
Halo 2 Legendary, yeah, that's basically what Apex Ranked is. Even just trying to get to Diamond. The amount of frustration and
Oh, you're talking
misery.
about multiplayer. I was gonna say. The
I-
campaign? That
No.
shit was easy.
Yeah, once you figured out all the tricks.
What do you mean? I didn't do any tricks. I just played right through it.
Jacko Sniper Alley.
You saw my... Okay, we don't talk about them. You saw me stripping Halo 2.
How's level Gravemind?
We don't talk about that either.
How's Arbiter?
I have blocked those
How's
memories
Arbiter?
from mine.
How's Arbiter?
He wasn't that bad.
Great Journey?
Arbiter wasn't that bad. No. Gravemind was holy shit.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So Apex, even for me, just trying to get to Diamond, it's been nothing but a chore right now. Again, and even my friend said it last night. If it wasn't for the fact that we had nothing better to play right now, as well as if it wasn't for the fact that the gameplay was so much fun, we would not be playing that game right now. Well, by playing the game I mean just basically doing ranked. But yeah, no. Also though, the fact that they've already doubled the prize pool for the ALGS, I'm honestly happy with it. I'm happy to see the Apex competitive scene grow. Because it really is. It's one of the few very sturdy battle royales right there that I feel like it's gonna last a while. Honestly, I feel like.
I think so too.
'Cause
I think the gameplay is fresh
Yeah.
every single time you watch it, and
Well, I think it's also just it has a solid player base that cares about the game.
yeah, I 100% agree with that.
So,
Yeah.
all right, you ready for the crowning jewel of this? So, as you guys could probably see on the text wall, Activision lawsuit, HR reportedly shredding documents. I just, oh my god.
I'm literally looking at the ground while I'm saying this. Hey, Activision! How's hell down there, huh?
So,
Is it hot yet?
just going over a bit of a brief summary. The state of California has expanded its lawsuit against Activision Blizzard to cover temporary contact workers, along with new allegations that the ATVI Human Resources Department has been using NDAs and shredding documents to impede the investigation. Like, it's just one of those. I'm not even surprised at this point. Like that's just literally how low they've fallen.
Listen,
I'm not even surprised.
I'm not like, dude. You could literally tell me that somebody took a piss on the server where they keep all the information, and I would not be surprised.
Like it's
Because-
just,
Oh my lord!
it's just, it keeps getting better by better. It keeps getting worse. Like I'm smiling and laughing as like I'm
Same.
reading it, just like talking about it, because it's just like, guys, how are you this dumb? You're just digging yourselves a bigger grave. Just stop. Like
How's Hitler down there?
oh my god. But it reminds me kind of like the whole. Have you ever heard of the Streisand effect?
No.
Basically, it's one of those where and you'll probably see where I'm going with this analogy. But basically, it's one of those where the more you try to keep something a secret, the more it actually starts to get out. Because when you try to like heavily try to guard something more and more and more, that's when people get more curious about it, and that's when it starts getting talked about more. So it's just one of those where it's like the more Activision just tries to kind of like skirt this, it's just like, guys, you're just
They're literally. So this is what they're doing. This is the picture that I'm having, right? So they're grabbing the papers and they're trying to like shovel them like into a corner, but that corner has a hole and it literally is just going outside. And it's literally just landing on like police officers like windshields and shit. You're like, well, shit. Well, let's use the other corner.
I I get the feeling that this is not going to be the last time we talk about it.
No,
just knowing
no.
Activision.
No, there's more. There's gonna be more shit coming. This is not the end.
again, it's one of those. It's writing itself. Activision, they're just like, part of me just wants to kind of believe that there's no way they're this stupid and they're just trying to put on some large entertainment show. But that's just giving them way too much credit at the same time.
I can already see the movie Activision, from glory to dumpster fire in less than a month.
Pretty much. Just, oh my god, man. I just can't even. Like,
But onto better things.
onto much better things, and that's not a dumpster fire. SpliteGate has announced that what was this, on the 25th? Yeah, so 3 days ago, SpliteGate had actually announced that they added in new features based on community suggestion. First one being Infection Game Mode, called Contamination, a permanent Instagib and one in the chamber, a final kill cam, an aim assist slider for the controller. I hate aim assist so goddamn much, just get rid of it. Overtime, more opportunities for drops, kill cams on all modes, and much more.
So there's actually a couple of things that were actually added onto that tweet, which there say bugs we're working on. Thanks for the bug reports, which is Battle Pass not redeeming rewards, cursor disappearing on console between games, crossplay voice chat not working properly, and more. So they are working on things along with all these things that they're added, which is great. You know, the game is very promising currently. Obviously, because people don't have nothing better to play, unfortunately.
Just wait till Halo Infinite comes out and that game just dies.
It's saddening to say, but I'm thinking that's the way it's headed.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those. The Splitgate, it is very much fun, but it's mainly just because of the fact that it's just filling my void of just no new Halo. And like as much as I hate to say, that really is just the case for me personally.
As awful as it sounds, it's literally what I said earlier. It's literally Halo and Portal had a baby, and this is what came out. The soldiers literally look like Master Chief everywhere. It's literally always red versus blue, and the guns themselves literally they look like they came out of Halo 5.
I mean, you literally have a goddamn battle rifle and a DMR. Like, did you just? It's discount weapons.
All you need is literally the arbiter to fly out of the sky, and boom, there you go. You got Halo.
I mean, you got Lucille from The Walking Dead, which is basically the equivalent of a gravity hammer.
Yeah. But you know what? What they're doing right now is, it's good. They're adding features. They're adding new game modes, so they're keeping the game fresh.
Yeah, no, and I give them a lot of credit, honestly. The current team behind Splitgate, they genuinely seem like a team that greatly cares about their game, and I believe I actually saw a tweet from them not that long ago, I think within the last couple days, if not like just 2 or 3 days, where they said that they're going to start trying to come out with a blog post every week because of the fact that they want to be transparent with their community, and I'm all for that. I'm really all for that. So, like, I think it's good for game companies to be very transparent. Like, I don't think I've talked about before, but that's one of the things that the 343 team has been doing. They've been creating blog posts about Halo Infinite every single month, and it's just they want to keep in contact with the community, like let them know what's going on, because it's one of those where when you just go radio silent on a community that's basically the support pillars for your game, it's just not good. Like, just what's the old saying? The key to any relationship is communication. That's what they're doing, and I support them for that. So
yeah, no, keep at it.
Yep.
And hopefully they bring big success until Halo Infinite comes out.
Now, last today for our episode, we have a bit of going back to Activision. This probably could have been included with the lawsuit topic, but Blizzard to change the name of Overwatch's Mccree following. Oh my God!
So they're changing the character's Mccree's name to. Let me look up his new name.
And this is following the sexual harassment lawsuit.
Let me find out real quick.
And it also said that Blizzard also committed to not naming in-game characters after staffers anymore. And I'm just gonna say the amount of roasting that Blizzard had gotten over this, and not even so much the name change, but it's just like, oh hey guys, guess what? We changed the name. Please forget about the lawsuit. Was basically the entire vibe everybody got.
Yeah, so the character itself was named after the person whose name was Jesse Mccree, and because they have gotten rid of that person, um, they're changing the character's name in a certain patch. I wish it would say what they're changing the name to. I can't seem to find that.
It's just I just love seeing the comments stuff from Twitter about it. Where it's just like, oh hey guys, it's like we know it's like forget about our lawsuits. We changed the character's name. It's like this has totally fixed everything.
Yeah, like I said, this is just them, Hey, let's shovel this into the corner. Oh wait, oh shit, you're going outside.
It's like quickly, what? Like let's just start throwing darts against the wall and hoping something sticks.
Yep.
Like
pretty much.
It's literally all this is. Oh my god, I'm just gonna say right now, I do not envy any of the PR managers over that company.
Oh no. I'm literally I want to be amazed at like what comes out of their ass to like make that company look good again.
Like honestly, if I were the PR manager at this point, I'd be like, yo, I don't get paid enough for this. Like you better be paying me double, otherwise I'm out. Like it's
pretty much.
It's just a whole mess, man.
I don't think the PR. I think they send the PR person on vacation. Be like, we don't have any work for you right now because our company's on a dumpster fire.
Well, what was that one SpongeBob like moment? It's like so much later that the old narrator got tired of narrating and they had to hire a new one.
Oh yeah. Oh god. No, but I mean, it's something like you don't want like it's weird because like they named this character, but the guy designed the character. So
I mean, I would also say though that there is their argument that the character, like the work, should also be separate from the person. Like I'm honestly of that perspective because the person may not be the best, but if their work is good, their work is good. Like that's just me personally. It would be like, you know the whole thing going on with J.K. Rowling and whatnot, and how she apparently says a lot of stupid shit.
yes.
Yeah, like you know what? She may not always make the smartest decisions, but I still enjoy the Harry Potter franchise. I think it's a very good franchise. I enjoy all the characters. I enjoy the stories. And again, you don't have to like a person, but you can always still appreciate what could be argued as just good work objectively that they've done. So,
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like sometimes if you put effort into in this case making this character right, it, in a way from I want to say from the artist's point of view, they should get some credit
yeah.
for the character, but I wouldn't go as far as naming the character after yourself.
No, that's what an Easter egg is for. It's like, you just put a little blurry ass JPEG on some random ass corner of the map that's on the outside that players can't access. You know how that shit goes.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no. So, any other thoughts you wanted to quickly add to this, or?
Nope. Activation's a dumpster fire. SpliteGate's doing great. Apex is doing great.
Yeah, Apex. It's
people stop spending $2 million on Super Mario for the love of Christ.
Just wait. I'm just waiting to see if it becomes a meme at this point. Like I said, if just another Mario game just starts selling for like 2.5 or even $3 million, I would genuinely laugh my ass off at that point.
Dude, Loki, I'm hoping the Super Mario
Sunshine.
Super Mario Luigi. Fuck, I forget the name of it. I'll remember for the next episode. But like, I'm expecting that title to become the next $1 million game.
Luigi's Mansion?
I remember. No, not Luigi's Mansion, unfortunately. I wish. Actually, you know what? That has potential too. But until the GameCube becomes extinct, maybe not.
Yeah. But so as I said before, just quickly before wrapping up this episode, um and I believe I did say something about this in the beginning. If I didn't, then I'm saying it now. But anyways, and this will be news to you, Caesar, as well. I will be starting a new job on Monday. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this should not be affecting my ability to do Gaming's Howl, because what I did for Gaming's Howl before with my current job is that whenever I had a few free moments, I would check up on Twitter just for any gaming news. I don't believe that should change anything, but we're gonna have to see. And if worst comes to worst, if it does, I'm gonna have to be getting gaming news some other way. But for now, we're just gonna see. But I just figured I'd let you guys know that just in case. Um, but so yeah, that's just currently big news coming for me just before I end off this episode. But yeah, so ending this episode off, once again, guys, as always, if you did like what you saw and listened to here today, make sure to leave a like on the video. Helps the channel a lot, as well as the video. Share it. Get it out to your friends. Anyone who just likes listening to gaming news and just listening to two dudes who just kind of make fools of themselves a bit, one more than the other. Um, and yeah, no, if you want to see future content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and be sure to subscribe just to kind of see just other types of similar content. Once again, Caesar's socials will be in the description below. And, and until next time, guys, I hope you have a good one. I will hopefully see you again in another 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks. As I said before, I'm going to have to see how everything kind of plays out. But until next time, this has been Graywolf, once again joined by Caesar V Thunder. Until next game is Howl, I will see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye.